I would have loved to have thrifted a new cardigan for this video, but thrift stores are not open and I don't know when they're gonna open, so. Hi there, Michelle here, also known as Fancy Dinosaur Tea Party, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna be thrift flipping a sweater and put some strawberries on it. There's this cardigan sweater roaming around the internet that is so stinking adorable, and basically it is just like a off-white, maybe white, I'm not too sure, cardigan with like giant strawberries on it, and I think it is so adorable. Being me and being crafty and kind of knowing what I'm doing, I kind of want to make it myself. I have no doubt that I could make that cardigan, crochet a sweater, but I'm gonna take the easy way out and just thrift flip a sweater that I already have. This is also a crochet strawberry tutorial, so if you're watching this video so you can learn how to crochet the strawberry I'm going to make, I'm going to be listing chapters below. You can just skip ahead to that step. If you're not interested in me making the sweater, that's fine, so you can just go to the tutorial. Another thing with the strawberry tutorial is that it's a certain strawberry that I want to make, but when I was looking up a tutorial on how to make it, there wasn't any videos in English. It was kind of difficult to follow along of what they were doing because they were obviously talking, but I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I'm seeing the stitches that you are making, and it took me several tries to finally get the strawberry perfected, and even now I don't know if it's perfect, but it's what I'm gonna do. And it's what I'm going to show you in this video. Basically, the main reason why I am doing this video is because I couldn't find a video on how to make this certain type of strawberry in English. I wanted to make one in English, I guess, so people could follow along the steps, you know, not get so frustrated like I got frustrated. Oh my goodness, my bang is doing that thing that I didn't like doing when it was like 2009. This is why I don't like side bangs, is because I keep touching them and then they just get greasy and then they just don't stay. But side bang does look really cute on me. So the sweater I'm going to be using is this beautiful, creamy, Chris Evans looking sweater. Main reason why I bought this sweater is because of Knives Out. Anywho, it's so cute and it's like the perfect color. I don't really like stark white clothing, and I believe it is handmade because it does say handmade by Shirley on the top. And when I bought this at a Goodwill well over a year ago, there was actually two of them, but I just bought the one. And this is like that oversized sweater that's probably like an extra large. The only problem I have with the sweater is the bottom of it. It's too tight, and like it's not like tight, it's just, it's very awkward to wear, and I will do a try on so you can clearly see what I'm talking about, but it just doesn't hit right. If I have it down, it kind of like billows at my side and then it like really hugs my thighs. Or if I decide, hey, like if I roll it under, it gives me like Muffin Man vibes. Like it looks like I'm a muffin because it does like the muffin top. That's not really the look I'm going for. I haven't really worn the sweater because of it. The first step into doing this tutorial is I am going to take this bottom off. I don't know how that's gonna be. I think I am going to take the, I think I'm going to take the bottom of this off, make my own edge, and then add some strawberries to it. In theory, it seems like a very easy tutorial, a very easy thrift flip, but we will soon find out. So I was originally only gonna take the hem off this sweater, and I did. I cut the hem off, and unfortunately the yarn would not just pull off, so I actually had to use scissors and cut through it. I did the end, I did a scalloped edge, I did everything, made it look pretty, tried it on, and I hated it so much that I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna wear it as is. I better make it the way I want it now. So I ended up cropping the sweater instead, and this is where we are right now. So I went through with my yarn needle and I just kind of closed up all the edges. I just realized now that I didn't really show you what I was doing with the yarn needle. Basically, I was just sewing the frayed edge, just sewing it up so that way it wasn't as frayed anymore. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the yarn, the exact same yarn that I used to do the edges so it doesn't unravel with me with my crochet hook, and I think I'm just gonna do, maybe I'll do like a half double stitch around the whole entire hem, just so it looks a little bit tidier, a little bit neater. So as you can see, this is the raw edge, and all I'm gonna do is just insert my hook underneath that raw edge. Do a little slip knot at first, right? Yarn over, back into that same hole, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. I'm just going to be doing a half double. I'm not gonna do every single stitch. Also, I'm actually spacing out my stitches about 1/2 inch apart. I'm gonna quickly show you how I do my scallop border. I'm going to skip 1 and just do a slip stitch. Topsy! I'm going to skip 1. I'm gonna go into this one, just insert the hook, loop over, pull through that. So I'm just doing a slip stitch in here. Then in the next one, I'm going to chain 5. So that is loop over, insert, loop over, pull through, loop over, pull through 2, loop over, pull through 2. I have to do this 4 more times. And 5. Now to close the scallop, what I'm gonna do is again, how I showed you how I moved on to this scallop, I'm gonna skip this one, go into the next one, loop over, pull through, and then pull through that. And that is how you make a scallop edge. So I'm just gonna continue doing this along the entire edge. All right, time to work on the strawberry. Now, if you remember my video that I did for a cake Kleenex box cover where I made strawberries, it's gonna be a completely different strawberry tutorial. Those ones were 3D, these ones are gonna be 2D. The crochet hook I am gonna be using is a 5mm. Remember, working yarn is connected to the ball of yarn and the tail is the tail. So you're gonna take your end yarn, hold it with your fingers like this, loop over like this, and then you're gonna take the working yarn through the little gap you got there, pull through, so it looks kind of like this. Then you're gonna take your end yarn, your working yarn, just pinch those, and just pull tightly, pull like this, enough that your crochet hook can fit in. So my next step is I'm going to chain 4. So to chain 4, I'm going to loop over, pull through 1, and that is a chain. That's essentially a chain. So now I'm going to chain 3 more. So loop over, pull through, loop over, pull through 3, loop over, pull through 4. Next step is I'm going to take my hook, go back through the first chain that I made, then I'm going to loop over, pull through both of the loops that are here. So just like that. So then you kind of end up with a very, very, very tiny circle. So right here is going to be the bottom of the strawberry. Also, another little tip for when we're doing the strawberry is you want very loose loops, okay? So we're not gonna make everything super tight. They need to be very, very loose. Just gonna put this aside for like 2 seconds just to show you what I mean by loose loops. This is what I mean. Again, I'm going to take this, which makes me feel like a dentist. You see how long these are? That's because you're gonna be looping very loosely. You're not going to be tugging on the yarn. You're not gonna try to make it tight. Everything has to be quite loose so you get those long lines. You might be like, why? Why do you need them to be long? That's why. This is why you need to have long loops. Like, look at this thing. This was technically the first time I tried it, so I have gotten better. I mean, as you can see. You see how like rounded they are? And they're more like baubles. So essentially, this is just a bunch of baubles. Difference in size and how like chaotic and how like kind of squished this is. This is why you need to have longer loops. This is a disaster. Normally when you would crochet, you crochet like this and it's very, very tight. You see kind of how tight that is? This is gonna be a different stitch than probably what you are used to. Now that we have this, and now that I've told you you need loose loops, you're going to loop around very loosely, insert into the middle. So remember how we chained? So right there's kind of the middle. So we're gonna insert, yarn over, pull through, just gently pull a little bit. We're gonna yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. So that was 2. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. That is 3. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. That is 4. So you should have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you should have 9 loops on your crochet hook, okay? So next step is you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all of it. Yarn over, pull through 1. Now another reason why I told you to have really loose loops is that when you're trying to pull through this, and if it's really, really tight, your crochet hook is gonna get caught on a bunch of these. The looser your yarn is, the more easy it is to pull your crochet hook through. In the same hole right there, I'm gonna do 2 more of these little crochet thingamajigs. So once you have it just like this, just flip it over. I'm gonna be like building up the strawberry like this, okay? So this part here is this part. okay? You're on the outside of your strawberry. You are just going to chain an extra one. So I'm just gonna chain one more right there before I start like moving on to this row. So how I have like 3 kind of little baubles. They're not technically baubles, but I don't know what else to call them. But because I have like 3 baubles here, I'm going to have 4, then 5, 6, 7, and so on. Well, actually I stop at 7, so. Once we get to 7, we're cool. Now that you have your extra stitch down here, I'm going to yarn over, and you see this stitch here, so it would be like 1 stitch, 2 stitch, 3 stitch. This is the 3rd stitch. I'm going to yarn over like I did, and I'm gonna insert into that stitch. So you see how there's like the 2 up here? I don't know how else to explain it. And then I'm gonna yarn over, pull through, just like that. And I'm gonna do this again 3 more times, just like we did before. I'm going to yarn over, pull through everything, yarn over, and then just pull through that. The next step is, you see how I made 3 baubles at the bottom? See how this bobble, and then this bobble, and then there's a space? That's where I'm going to make the next like little bobble-y thingy-majig. So I'm gonna yarn over, insert into that space right there, yarn over, pull through, okay? So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, yarn over, pull through all of them, and yarn over, pull through. So the next one is, you see how again over here there's a space between this bobble and this bobble. So right there is where I'm going to make the next bobble thing. You can kind of see that there is a chain kind of like right near the end. I don't know how this is showing up. It looks very bright in my camera, so I really hope it shows up. So we went through that hole there, and then just to the left of it, there is just a chain right here. So I'm going to loop over, insert into that chain, making a new bobble. And now that I'm at the end, I'm going to be making that extra stitch, flipping it back, and I'm doing basically the exact same process. We start off with a loop over, go into that very first chain. Right before the hole that separates the 2 bobbles, you go into the chain that's right above it. This is what it looks like right now. So I'm going to be working my way back this way. So like how we did here, after you make the very first bobbly looking stitch, you now just have to look for the little gaps between the bobbles, and that's where you make your new bobbles. And then when you get to the very end again, end up going back into that stitch, and then you add your stitch, and then you go this way, and then you go that way, and then you go that way again, until you have 7. And now that I'm on my last one, take my scissors, cut the working yarn. There we go. Then I'm going to yarn over, pull through all the way, grab it, and just tighten it. So this is what the strawberry is kind of looking like right now. Now to make the strawberry look like this, I'm going to have to add the green part. And again, I'm going to do the slip knot, where I take the end, fold over, through the little bunny hole, pull the end hook in there, pull tightly. There we go. This is the front and this is the back. How you can tell the front is that this little piece here is kind of like sticking out. So you know it kind of goes like this, whereas on the back, it's less sticking out. As you can see how I've taught you how to make this, we're just basically taking those skills we learned here and putting it towards the leaf part. The leaf part is honestly really, really simple, so don't worry about that. You remember how when we would start a new row, we wouldn't go into the very first little gap between bobbles? I actually went through the very first stitch I could go through. That's gonna happen again. So I'm just gonna do a quick little slip stitch. So I'm just gonna go through the very first stitch before the opening, yarn over, pull through all of those. And now into that same stitch, I'm going to be doing 4 of those bobble loops that I've been showing you, that we've basically been doing all along. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Remember, we want a little bit of slack. So remember how I would loop over and then pull through all of those? Not doing it this time. You might be thinking, what are you doing, Michelle? This is crazy talk. Don't worry, trust the process. It will all make sense. I'm now gonna go into the little gap right here. Same process, we're gonna do 4. So now I'm gonna go into the next one, but this one I'm only gonna be doing 3, okay? So we yarned over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3. I'm still not gonna be yarning over and pulling through all those. We have 1 more to do before that happens. So instead of going into the next one, which you think that's the obvious move, it's not. I'm actually gonna be going all the way down here. But I'm not gonna go into the gap. I'm actually going to create my next stitch through this little stitch right here. So if we're looking at rows, this would be row 3. So right at the top of row 3 right here is where I'm going to insert my hook. I'm gonna yarn over. I'm gonna go all the way down here, push through just like that, okay? I'm gonna yarn over, I'm gonna pull through, and just pull all the way back up. Okay, so I really want that long line right there, and that way this is nice and flat. So you're gonna yarn over, I can do it, yarn over, back through, yarn over, pull back out, and pull up. Okay, one more time. So we're gonna yarn over, insert right back into that same spot, yarn over, take it, pull it all the way through. Now I can pull through all of it. So you remember how I said to make sure everything's loose? This is probably the most critical part that you need to keep everything loose, because now you gotta yarn over and you gotta pull this hook through all these stitches. And the best way to do it, kind of turn it down, because if you go like this, it's gonna hit all the stitches on the top. So once it's yarned over, you're kind of twisting it, right? Twist it down, and just slowly pull through, okay? Again, this actually took me a few times to kind of master, so if you don't get it the first time, that's okay. That's totally normal. Now, before I loop over and pull through this one, you're gonna take your crochet hook and you're gonna go all the way down to the end. You're gonna wanna grab like the end pieces, so like those 2 pieces, and you're gonna wanna put your hook through them. Then you're gonna wanna loop over and pull through both of them. And then you're gonna loop over and you're gonna pull through this one and you're gonna pull through this one. Just like that. And then you're gonna loop over and pull tight. And so now we have to work on this half. So this is basically 1 half, second half. So instead of going 4, 4, 3, then 3 long ones, we're gonna do 3 long ones, 3, 4, 4, if that makes any sense. So you're gonna loop over and then you're gonna go into the one that's right beside it. So you know how we looped through this one? We're gonna loop through this one now, okay? So this is gonna be a long one. So we've looped over, insert, loop over from the back, pull, and pull all the way back up. And then I'm gonna loop over and I'm gonna do this 2 more times. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Then I'm gonna loop over and I'm gonna do 3 in the next gap, 3 right there. And then I'm gonna go into the next one. I'm gonna do 4. 4, okay, and we still have all these on our crochet hook. And I'm gonna do 1 more time through here, and that's another 4. And then I'm going to loop over, and we're twisting my crochet hook, and then I'm just gonna pull through all of them, hopefully it does okay. Okay, I'm kind of stuck, it's fine. Just keep going, just keep going. So then I'm gonna go back over here, stitch through the 2 last stitches, yarn over, pull through those 2, yarn over, pull through that. So then this is what it looks like kind of from the front. And then you're just kind of gonna go through this, yarn over, and just pull kind of through, yarn over, and then just pull through 2. Cut that, yarn over, pull through, and just tighten it. So that was our 4, that was our 4, that was our 3, that was our long 3, another long 3, a short 3, another 4, and another 4 on the back. And that's how the strawberry looks. This is one of the first ones that I made, and as you can see, it kind of goes down right there, whereas this goes up. It all depends on like your preference. So when you make your strawberry, it's very easy to get the bottom kind of like disoriented and not really be able to figure it out. It's okay. So this is the one that I showed you. You see how they're all going up, and this one is like, they're going kind of down. That's because I didn't flip it. So like this really should go like this. Then I should have built the strawberry this way, but I didn't. Just telling you, either way looks good. Hoping this made sense. And now that all the strawberries are done, they're literally all over the place. Okay, those are out. So I tried it on. I've put the strawberries where I want to put them, and I just pinned them down with one of my sewing pins just so that way they don't move around. I also took a photo just in case something were to occur. Then I'm gonna take some yarn, the same color yarn that matches this. I'm also gonna take my yarn needle and put that through. And basically the yarn needle is just a gigantic plastic needle with a hole big enough that the yarn will fit through. Just wanna make sure that it's kind of secure at the bottom and then at the 2 sides here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my yarn needle, I'm gonna go underneath the sweater and just poke that through and then through the bottom of my strawberry. So, but I'm also holding the back end of the thread, and then I'm just gonna go back through, just like that. And then I'm going to flip it up. Going to pull the string so it's about like this. Then I'm gonna make 4 knots just to make sure that it is super, super secure. And then I'm just going to snip the working yarn, the longer tail of the yarn, because I am gonna reuse this for the rest of the strawberry. So back through my yarn needle, underneath, and then I'm going through kind of the side here, just like that. Through. Come on, yarn needle, you got this. Okay, there we go. Also holding on to one end so it doesn't pull both ends through. And then I'm going right back in, grabbing that yarn needle, the inside out, and then again making 3 knots. Just kind of puff them out a little bit, you know, just like, there we go. They're not going nowhere. And this is the final look. I think it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to, because there was some hiccups along the way. I didn't think that this was going to turn out as cute as it did. I think the strawberries are a perfect size, and I really like that I cropped the sweater because I did the whole sweater. That means I did the bottom hem of this twice, 2 times. Doing a hem and doing the scallop edge didn't take that much time. It probably took me like today, an hour and a half really to redo the whole bottom, maybe 2 hours. Maybe 2 hours to crop it and get everything done again. So it wasn't like a huge deal. It wasn't like I had to recrochet all the strawberries, thank goodness. And I will say I am going to be making a few more strawberries for the back. It's just, I kind of ran out of time. But also I'm a little lazy and too tired to make any more strawberries. I mean, from the front and the sleeves are fantastic. On the back, I would like to add like maybe 2 more strawberries, so that's not a big deal. It's not something that I have to get to. I probably will finish it in the next few days, but you know what? I wanted to get this video out, so this is where I'm at. Things that I would change, probably not use this sweater. I mean, although the sweater, I have to say, turned out really, really cute. I think if I were to have used a cardigan, I think placing these strawberries on it would have been a lot easier, because it was just kind of like awkward. I didn't want to make a pattern of strawberries, but then like it just kind of threw me off, especially with all of the detailing that is on the sweater already, with all like, you know, the lines. It definitely threw me through a loop when I was trying to place them. I also think when thrift stores do open up, I am going to be kind of on the hunt for a perfect like oversized cream cardigan, because I was this close of cutting this down the middle and making it into a cardigan, but I'm really glad I stopped myself. I will be on a hunt for that, because if I want to take these strawberries off, super simple. I just, like, as you saw how I tied them on, I just have to cut the ties off. The strawberry will stay intact. It will be fine. And I can add them onto a different cardigan later on. I would have loved to have thrifted a new cardigan for this video, but thrift stores are not open and I don't know when they're gonna open. So if this is a project that you want to do, definitely plan where you want to put the strawberries while you're standing up, while you're wearing it, because if it's on the ground, especially this, it's a very square shape. I did attempt to like try to position them while this was on the ground, but because of square, it didn't look right, because when I wore it, obviously the sides went down, everything like fell down, and they were all kind of just weirdly on the sweater. So I definitely think that if you can plan the strawberries out before you sew them on, that's a really good tip. Yeah, other than that, I think the strawberry sweater is a success. Really like how I crocheted the strawberries. I think that is it. So y'all have a good day now.